Welcome back to Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life, the podcast. This is Life Coach Brenna Young, and you are listening to 5 Minute Fridays with Coach Brenna. Today, I want to talk on the topic, how to escape the snares of loneliness. You know, we can be alone, but not lonely. But whenever we feel a void that we think we need to fill, or we're missing someone or something, then that contributes to loneliness. And loneliness has been linked to higher blood pressure and depression. And it also has an increased risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Because we are meant to share our lives with people. It is nature. So when we're alone and we feel lonely, nature has a way of trying to fill that void. You know, they say that you should never have a space that's empty, because the devil goes and he finds like 7 demons to fill that space. So same kind of thing here, you've got to fill the space with something other than a void. So God promises to give you back a double portion of anything that you've lost. So the first thing we need to do to escape the snares of loneliness is to speak to the atmosphere. Decree and declare that God will fill the void in your life with a double portion of whatever it is that is missing. Because we are not designed to be lonely and alone, sometimes we prefer to live in conflict than live alone in an empty house. I have heard so many men, not necessarily women, but I have heard so many men, including my own father, say that when their wives left them, they couldn't stand the empty house. And they begged her to come back, even though he's the one that told her to leave. You know, he would tell me that she's running up his blood pressure and she's going to kill him. And then when she leaves and takes the kids, you walk into that empty house that's void. No energy, no people, no talking. And you beg them to come back, because it's better to live with people and be maybe unhappy than to be alone. So, and I know a lot of women, they don't say necessarily about the empty house, but a lot of women, including myself, we like to be held. You know, we want physical touch, and that's basically what we miss, right? All right, so the reason also that empty nesters find something to do when the kids leave home is that they're also trying to fill the void in their homes and their heart. So we can do one of two things. We can fill the void of loneliness, or we can replace the void by putting something in it. So let's start first about the void, because whenever you feel the void, then you try to fill it, that empty place, with something. And a lot of times the things that we choose are not very good for us. So for instance, you might try to fill the void of abandonment with alcohol, but guess what? Maybe when you were drinking the alcohol, you don't feel it, but as soon as you stop drinking, and you can't drink 24 hours a day, it comes right back, right? You can't use food to fill the void of low self-esteem, because guess what? You're going to get fatter and your self-esteem is going to go lower. But that's what a lot of people do. They fill it with things that they're bad, that are bad for them. I just said that women love to be held. So you can't fill the void of being alone with sex, because guess what? When somebody uses you up and leaves you alone after, taking advantage of your body, you feel worse. So try to, not fill that void with something that's going to make you feel more empty, right? And also, on the flip side of that, don't let anybody use you to fill their void. Don't become the other woman or the in the meantime woman. Don't become the substitute to fill anyone's void. Not only will you be lonely again when they dump you, but also you will feel used and abused. So, what should you do? To escape the snares of loneliness, you should be connected to a worshiper or be connected to support. If your home is empty, you need someone to talk to on the phone. You need the community of worshipers at your church to escape the snares of loneliness. Late in the midnight hour, when you can't sleep, you need someone to call on the phone who will listen. You need connection to both God and man, right? You also need someone to pull you into something new. You need to find someone or something to hold on to, something that will hold you up when you can't stand on your own, because the void of loneliness is seeping all your strength. You need someone you can borrow their fresh strength until God turns it around, because a fresh anointing is coming your way. Keep busy and get out of the house. So here, now that you have decided that you're not going to fill the void of loneliness with things that are going to make you feel worse and even more lonely when the short time span that you're using to fill that void is gone, here are healthy ways to escape the snares of loneliness. Take up a new hobby. Take up ballroom dancing, any place where there's people, because you need people. Take up ballroom dancing, join meetup groups. Find some kind of hobby to fill your time. Volunteer. Volunteer at a local church, hospital, food bank, park. I walk in the park every day and it's filled with volunteers. What is the best way to fill that void? You're in trees, you're in nature, and you are contributing to your community. Get into books and live vicariously through the stories in the books. Listen, I'm one of those people that, I can be alone, but not lonely, because what do I fill it with? I fill it with movies, I fill it with books, because I'm able to transport myself into that story. And that makes me feel good, right? So like I said, you go to the movies, you go out dancing, learn to dance, join a dance class, but whatever you do, do something. The other thing is that you can get or borrow a dog. Dogs are man's best friend, and you can never be lonely with a dog around. They give you a lot of attention. They need a lot of attention, and it's something to do. You got to walk them, you got to feed them, And a lot of times, specifically targeting the elder generation, maybe you can't have a dog wherever you're living, or you don't have the space for it. But that's why you can now borrow a dog. There are facilities that allow you to do that. Or you can just be neighborly and ask your friend to watch their dog while they're at work. They will love it. You can walk the dog is company. And, that's what I call a win-win situation. You get company, the dog is not alone at work, they get someone to walk the dog while they're at work. So you can't go wrong there, right? So as we wrap up, I want to let you know that loneliness is real. If you find yourself with a void of human company, I hope that I gave you some tips to escape the snares of loneliness. The flip side of loneliness is enjoying your own company and being okay with it, being okay with being alone. Some people who are introverts truly enjoy their own company. Well, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of 5-Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Hope to see you back here next week, same time. If you're watching this on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe. If you're listening to this on iTunes, we'd love for you to give us a rating and a review. Until next time, namaste.